A year ago, my life felt untouchable. Then she went to that wedding. A year back, if someone had asked how I was doing, I would have smiled and said, better than I deserve. At 37, I was married to a woman I loved more than I thought possible. Her name was Elise. We'd spent a decade together. 4 years dating, 6 years as husband and wife, building what I thought was a future carved from trust, laughter, and quiet devotion. To me, Elise wasn't just a partner. She was the calm in every storm, the person I called first whether I was celebrating or falling apart. We talked about traveling the world together, raising a family, growing older with our fingers forever entwined. And though we'd faced 2 heartbreaking miscarriages, we pressed on, hopeful, committed. Or at least I was. Everything began to crumble after she attended a wedding out of state, a long-time friend's beachfront ceremony in North Carolina. I couldn't go. Work had me buried and money was tight. Elise said she understood. She kissed me at the airport, whispered "I love you" like always, and I watched her disappear into the crowd. I never imagined the woman who returned would be someone I barely recognized. When she came back, everything seemed normal. She was glowing, chatty, full of stories about the ceremony, the salty air, the music. That night, we cooked together, curled up with a movie, fell asleep in our usual tangle of limbs. I kissed her temple as she slept, utterly unaware that the fabric of our life had been ripped. 3 weeks later, I started feeling off. Exhausted, nauseous, foggy. I chalked it up to stress, but something nudged me to get checked out. When the doctor sat down, face tight with discomfort, I knew it wasn't good. "Michael," he said gravely, "you've tested positive for an STD." I laughed, dry and disbelieving. That can't be right. I'm married. Elise is the only person I've ever been with. He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Sometimes the people we trust most aren't who we think they are." Those words clung to me like mildew. I couldn't breathe. I went to a second clinic the next day. Same result. That evening, I sat in my car outside our home for nearly an hour, staring at the door I'd unlocked for her 1,000 times. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I needed to be sure. So I waited. Her phone always just out of reach. Her smile a little too quick. But nothing concrete, not yet. Then one evening while she was in the bath, I found it. Her handbag slightly open. Inside was a prescription bottle tucked beneath a tube of lipstick. The label had her name. The medication matched the one I'd been prescribed. My throat went dry. I double-checked the drug online just to be certain. "Elise," I called out, keeping my voice neutral. "Can you come here for a second?" She padded in, drying her hands, smiling. I held up the bottle. "What's this for?" She blinked, hesitated. "Oh, that. It's for a friend." She was too embarrassed to pick it up herself. I let out a laugh, low, bitter. "No. We're both getting tested. Today." Her face drained of color. You can't make me." "I don't need to," I said. "But I've tested positive." "So either you explain how that's possible, or I explain it to your parents. Mine. And whoever else you've lied to." Her legs gave out, and she collapsed onto the bed, sobbing. Through broken gasps, the story came out. The wedding, the drinks, an old college fling she hadn't seen in years. She swore it meant nothing. That she was drunk. That it was one night. That she was scared to tell me and terrified of losing me. But there was no real remorse. Just fear. Fear of consequences, not guilt for what she'd done. I didn't sleep beside her that night. I moved into the guest room. The next morning, while she ran errands, I contacted a divorce attorney. No kids. The house was in my name. The process began, not with fury, but with clinical detachment. Like signing a death certificate. But I wasn't done. Elise was deeply embedded in her community. Book clubs, volunteer groups, weekend brunches with women who adored her poise. So I sent anonymous notes to the heads of her 3 most cherished circles. Just one line. "You might want to ask Elise about what really happened at Natalie's wedding before you trust her again." 2 days later, the divorce papers were delivered. When I got home, she was sitting on the couch, mascara smudged, hands trembling. Michael, please. Don't do this. We can fix this. I stared at her. Cold. I'm not trying to destroy you, Elise. I'm freeing myself. She cried. She begged. She even tried to seduce me. But I'd already shut that door. In the weeks that followed, her perfect image crumbled. Her friends pulled away. Her beloved volunteer group revoked her position. Even the college friend, the man she'd slept with, ghosted her. He sent me one last email. I've lost everything. I never responded. Moved 2 hours away, to a quiet coastal town where no one knew my story. Started a new job. Found a therapist. I didn't want to be angry forever. I wanted peace, and slowly I found it. I stopped tracking her online. I stopped wondering if I should have done more, or seen the signs sooner. I was healing. Then, 7 months later, a knock at my door. No intercom buzz. Just the raw thud of knuckles on wood. It was storming. I checked the peephole. Elise. Soaked, shaking, arms wrapped around herself like a child. I opened the door just a sliver. Hi, she whispered. Can we talk? I didn't say anything. She stepped forward, but I didn't move. Please, she said. I know I'm the last person you want to see, but I don't have anywhere else to go. Against my better judgment, I let her in. Not out of forgiveness, out of curiosity. I wanted to see what 7 months of consequences looked like. She was a ghost. Hair unkempt, hollow, clothes wrinkled. Her small bag suggested she had nowhere to go. I've lost it all, she said, sinking into the couch like her bones no longer held her. My job, my family, my groups. Even my cousin says I can't stay much longer. I've been looking for work, anything. Waited. I came to apologize, she said. Truly. Not because I want something. Because I need you to know I'm sorry. He nodded. I forgive you. Her face lifted, hopeful. But that doesn't mean I want you back. Her expression shattered. I just wanted to show you I've changed. You don't get to choose when your apology is enough, I said. You don't get to rewrite the story you burned to the ground. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I'm not asking to come back, she said. I don't even know what I want. Miss you. I miss us. I stood, walked to the door and opened it. What we had ended the moment you chose someone else. And brought home more than guilt. She didn't move. I truly loved you, she said softly. He nodded. I believe you. But love without loyalty is betrayal wearing perfume. She flinched at the words, then nodded slowly, and walked out into the storm. As I closed the door behind her, I felt no anger, just clarity. Elise didn't just lose her husband. She lost the version of herself she might have preserved, the one who knew how to hold something sacred. And I found a version of myself I'd never known before. Whole, unbroken, free.